Hi everyone, it's Jackie and I'm here today to share my Nick the Booksmith Deserted Island Challenge. This is my book. I'll try and put a photograph on here of what I used, but if not I'll put it in the comments, the first comment below if you're interested in that. I wanted this book to be as true to me as I could, so I wanted it to look similar to the books I make, and I think I more or less achieved that. So I chose a 12-inch piece of cardstock, half a fat quarter of fabric, and I had this fabric that looks sort of water stained, so I used that. I used this glue, a fabric glue, acetate based glue, a skein of embroidery yarn. In the picture I put green, but in the end I changed that to brown. Obviously my needle and 12 sheets of tea-dyed paper, and I used walnut stain distressing. So this basically is what I've got left. Sorry, my lamp's just gone out, bear with me. Plug that in. So I made a cord for a closure out of the embroidery thread. I put my bow on the outside. I used a sheet of scrapbook paper as well from Stamperia. It was a sort of collage sheet, and this was the biggest image on it, and that's really what attracted me. I wanted that on the front cover. So inside I've got, I probably want to tell you how I measured the pages because I wanted to cut my pages, and I decided I'd do a 6x4 journal. So with one of my sheets of paper, I just folded. I knew that this was about 11.5 and this was 8.25 or something, so I folded it in half accurately as I could, so I knew that this piece was about 6 inches. Used my scissors to cut that off. So then I had a template for my pages, and I just put that on each one, snipped, actually I folded and snipped, so that I'd got, I think, 16 pages that were the right size and had relatively neat edges. The 12x12 cardstock is on the inside, and I used the remaining bits of that to make 5 tags and collage my tags. So that's the first one. This is folded tea-dyed paper to make a pocket. To make the stencil, I just took a strip of paper and hand cut the hearts out of there, and then just, you'll see it at the end actually, and then just used my dabber to go through, so I've got a heart motif going through as well. I haven't watched any of these because I didn't want to be influenced, but I did watch Wendy's, and as usual I couldn't resist stealing one of Wendy's ideas. I wanted some of my pages to be a bit shorter, and originally I was going to put a fancy edge on, do a template and do a fancy edge, but I really like what she'd done, so I just folded it over and glued it. So thank you, Wendy. I don't think she'll mind. This is my second tag. So you can see the collage pieces that I've cut out. This is thread at the bottom and paper at the top. This is some of the fabric with a little bit of scrapbook paper, and then I used one of the hearts that I'd cut out for my stencil template to cut out some hearts to go on these. I chose tea-dyed paper that had dyed or darkened quite heavily on one side, mainly because I thought I wouldn't use that in my other journals, but actually it created a really nice contrast, so I was quite glad. This is part of the stencil, which I've cut across and just backed onto a bit of the scrapbook paper. And another one there. This has got a doily print on. It's another of the fabric and scrap paper collages. Another bit of stencil. This is horizontal pocket and the tag. That you can see that that's the cardstock I used for inside of the cover. I'm trying to make this quick for poor Nick, who's obviously got lots of these to plough through. So tag number 4. Oh, sorry, I usually stick my paper down. I've forgotten to do that. A bit more of the stenciling. What's this? Tag 5, I think, out of the card. I did make one more, which I'll show you in a second. And then the end, all I had left was this piece of paper here, which is what I'd use to make my holes to join the book together. So again, I folded a bit of paper over, I went like that to get the middle and put a hole through there with my needle, and then put a hole here and here, folded that up so that I could match them on the other side of the centre, and then use that to poke holes in the pages and in the cover. And my final tag, I had just enough paper left, literally a strip, to fold that over 3 times, glue it together to make a final tag to go in there. So that's my Deserted Island Challenge. I wasn't going to do it, then I decided I would. I didn't think I'd like it. I loved it. So thank you, Nick.